So, CBD oil, is it a miracle cure for everything, or is it complete snake oil bullshit? I mean, I'm sure the actual conversation is a little bit more granular than that, but I have to start these videos some way in a way that grabs your attention, so there we go. But I've been interested in CBD for a number of reasons, and some of you will have heard me talk about this kind of stuff before on my channel. But the main reason is that I have epilepsy. And I think one of the big stories with how CBD oil kind of burst onto the scene as this kind of miracle cure was that it did seem to have a very positive effect for people who had epilepsy. One particular case that I remember reading about was some young kid who was having like multiple seizures every day, and the father gave him CBD oil, and this really sort of just made the kid from being a kind of living hell into having a relatively normal life. And so for someone like myself who suffers from seizures, then yeah, of course this piqued my interest. Now I will, just to give you a bit of backstory, my epilepsy is nowhere near as bad as what was described with that kid. In some ways it's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is that my seizures are not particularly frequent. I might have, I would say on average maybe about 2 seizures per year, which granted is not very much. But the bad side of it is that when I have a seizure, it's as bad as it gets, and it will be a full sort of, unconscious spasming, very disturbing to look at. My bones and muscles will just completely lock up. And I've done myself a lot of damage over the years by doing that. I've dislocated bones to the point where my right shoulder is just pretty much destroyed because I've just dislocated it so many times. I've fractured bones, I've fractured my back, I've cut myself, I've got a lot of scars from where I've just sort of, banged into something during a seizure. And obviously it's very upsetting for the people around me. Now, the reason that my seizures are so infrequent is that it's controlled fairly well through medication. But that also kind of clashes with my lifestyle, because then when I do things like ayahuasca retreats, one of the things where you do there, because you're taking things like MAOIs, you're supposed to come off all the medication that you're on. And this is certainly what I do. I as part of the diet, I come off all my medications, including my epilepsy medication, and that kind of puts me a bit more at risk. And also, I'm just not super into the idea of taking pills for the rest of my life. So I was kind of interested in an alternate cure, and yeah, CBD seemed to be the thing that was promising that. The other reason why I'm interested in CBD is a second, I've kind of just alluded to it earlier, but I do have a lot of chronic pain. I'll just constant background pain in my shoulder, in my knees, because I do a lot of long distance running, in my back. So just all over general pain. And again, this is another sort of evangelized effect of CBD oil, is it's good for curing chronic pain. So that's why I'm interested. And because of that interest, I've tried this a number of times. I've tried multiple CBD oils, multiple strengths from multiple manufacturers. And in fact, here you can see some of the stuff that I've tried before. So I've really sort of given this a good go. And my opinion of it is it doesn't work. So this is my honest opinion as of today. I am a skeptic. I've tried this, lots of different doses, lots of different strengths, different manufacturers. I think I've given it a good go, and I tried it. I didn't notice any benefit particularly for my epilepsy. I didn't notice any huge benefit for my chronic pain. And so I pretty much gave up on that. And as I say, this is still my position today. I am not a believer in CBD. I don't want to put this out there that I think CBD is complete bullshit. As with many things, like I've said on this channel, I do think that there is a personal element in here. And so for me, this doesn't work. But the reason I'm making this video is I'm going to give this another go. And here I want to give a sort of a shout out to this company, Minnesota Nice Botanicals, who reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in testing those CBD products. And I said to them exactly what I've just kind of said to you. I said, guys, it doesn't work for me. I've tried it. I've tried these different strengths, and Yeah, I think a big part of the problem here is just that the kind of the science isn't there. Like, how do you know how much to take, what strength to take? So these guys, I had a sort of a dialogue with them, and they said, look, we will send you our strongest product, and you can try it, and then at least you know, then you've tried the sort of, you know, the strongest, most purest sort of broad spectrum product, and then, you know. And I thought, well, that sounds fair enough. And yeah, they offered to send it to me for free. So they did that. They sent me this big ass bottle, much bigger than the sort of the previous bottles I'd had. Apparently this is the strongest sort of CBD oil you can get. And yeah, I'm still interested in it for those same reasons. I would like to have something that can control my epilepsy or help me control my epilepsy, and something that could help with my chronic pain. So this is not a paid promotion. These guys are not paying me to say this. I think, you know, I'm trying to be honest with you about how sort of skeptical I am up front, and I've said the exact same thing to them, but I'm going to give it another go. So here is the experiment that I'm going to run on myself throughout April. And I'm going to start this on the 1st of April and run it through the entirety of April, or until these products run out. But judging by the size of the bottle, I think this will last me all the way through April. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this in the morning, I'm going to take this in the evening, and yeah, I'll start off just with a couple of drops. Again, there's not really science around the dosages, so I'm just going to work this out as I go along. They also sent me this CBD salve, this kind of like, you know, kind of rub balm thing, which I'm going to use on my knees. I go running in the morning, so I run like 5 kilometers in the morning, and my knees sort of ache after that. So I'm going to start using this, and on my shoulder as well. So yeah, well, this one's I'm kind of seeing as a kind of a bonus item. We'll see how that one goes. But this is the one I'm really interested in, is the CBD oil. So the way I'm going to do this, start in April, I'm going to start taking this, and I'm still going to keep taking my epilepsy medication as normal. 2 weeks in, I'm going to start coming off my epilepsy medication, and I'm going to see how I feel from that. And I think within, you know, the reason I'm doing this after 2 weeks, I think that gives this a fair chance for it to kind of settle in, bed in my body, to get used to it within that 2 weeks. Then yeah, as I say, I'm going to start weaning off my epilepsy medication, and this is really the only way to sort of do it. You just have to see if there's a problem or not. And this is kind of what happens even when you start taking epilepsy medications. You just have to take it and see if it works. So I've kind of done this before as I've gone between different medications. And I know the feeling when something's not right. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to see, yeah, does this CBD oil help with my medication and help with my chronic pain? I'm going to run this throughout April. And the other thing I'm going to do here, which I'm interested in, is obviously I'm coming at this from the perspective of a psychonaut, and I want to know, does this have any effect on a psychedelic experience, positive or negative? Because my understanding is, particularly with marijuana products, this is something else. If you go for an ayahuasca retreat, and they'll tell you don't smoke marijuana because it dulls the effect. And this is something I've heard quite often, that marijuana will dull the effect of tryptamine kind of psychedelics. So during this month of April, I'm going to do 2 psychedelic experiences, one with mushrooms and one with DMT. And I will see, based on my own sort of substantial back catalogue of experiences, whether or not taking CBD oil has an impact on those experiences, positive or negative. So it's a kind of a double experiment around the epilepsy, the chronic pain, and whether it affects my life as a psychonaut. And I'm going to give it a good go, and I'm going to see how it goes. So this is me sort of setting the scene, and I will do a similar video at the end of it, let you guys know how it works out for me, whether I think there's any tangible benefits here. And as I say, if there is, then awesome. If not, then my position will remain the same, and I will happily come back and tell you that it didn't work or it did work. And again, I want to be clear, I don't think this has any, this is not me saying that all CBD is bullshit. Different medicines work for different people. So even if this doesn't work, I want to say a massive thank you to Minnesota Nice Botanicals for sending me this. It's nice packaging, nice looking product. I'm looking forward to using it. And yeah, I'm just giving a shout out to these guys. If you already use CBD products or something, then yeah, maybe worth checking them out. I'll put a link to the website in the description below. But yeah, I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to say, yes, this is absolutely awesome. But still, I think it's worth a shout out to those guys. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, guys. Starting 1st of April, and I'll let you know how I get on. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.